Hi everybody, my name is Courtney. I am the CEO of Plant Medicine People, and I am also the course creator of something called the Plant Medicine Integration Coach Training Program. It took me about 15 years of doing psychedelic integration and plant medicine integration before I finally got the nerve to launch a training program. I found my way to this space doing this work kind of accidentally. I fell in love with ayahuasca 20 years ago, started training to become an Ayahuasquera. I apprenticed for over a decade. And during that time, it became abundantly obvious that integration was deeply needed. This wasn't a term we were using back then, but I was very instinctively showing up for people in the aftermath of working with the plants because I started figuring out that was the most important part of the process, is what we do with what happens in these sacred containers. And it took a year or two after that before I formed a formal company that I called the Afterlife Coaching platform, and told everybody that really what I wanted to be when I grew up was a psychedelic integration coach, which of course everyone said was crazy. You're never going to make money doing that. And here I am 15 years later teaching other people to make money from it, which is mind-blowing and so special, and makes me feel like the luckiest woman in the world, honestly. So I want to talk a little bit about what to expect. If you're curious, if you're called to becoming an integration coach, or if you're a therapist or a psychologist, that you want to add this to your disciplines, your capacity to help others. We have people usually in each group. There's at least a third of the people are in the clinical space, and a half to 2/3 of the people are in the shamanic space, and then many are bridge builders, are in multiple worlds, which is amazing. The course is about 6 months in length. It is divided into 13 classes. The classes are 2 hours long. They typically happen every other week, and then every other week are 1-hour Q&A sessions. So we spend a total of about 40 hours together in live training, so I can be really sort of dynamic with each group and the questions that they have. That said, if you want to go at your own pace, everything's recorded, so it is not required that you be there live by any means. It's just a benefit so that you can be there real time to sort of drive the conversation, especially the Q&As. There is coursework associated with each and every class, not the Q&A, but the class. And I estimate it's about 2 to 3 hours every 2 weeks of coursework. That said, the coursework does not have to be completed until 3 months after the course ends. I want to give everybody some spaciousness to get to everything so that you can be slow and intentional with it and have it not be a burden, but an addition to your education and self-discovery. We cover all kinds of topics, classifications of psychedelic medicines, helping people understand how they work with the body and the mind. We talk about preparation, intention setting, really helping people to decide what medicine is most appropriate, how to prepare their body, minds, spirits, and how to just help them have realistic expectations and really awesome, powerful tools to navigate these intense spaces that mushrooms and ayahuasca and iboga and all of the plants can take us into. But of course, the heart of what we talk about is integration. I have what I call my 10 pillars of integration that cover an entire spectrum of different ways that we can work with the mysterious and magical experiences that we have in ceremony and bring them into our everyday lives. For me, that is the definition of integration. It is embodiment. So we take these incredible experiences that we have and we do these exercises through the 10 pillars so that our lives are better for having had the journey or the retreat that we experienced. And so there are all kinds of topics within those pillars. We talk about somatic integration and bringing things into the physical space. We talk about the power of creativity and helping our clients to channel outside the context of the conscious mind. We talk about the relationship with the subconscious and dream work and how to use that in conjunction with integration. Some of the classes have special guests. I have a somatic integration expert. I have a trauma-informed guest, and then we talk about being really trauma-informed as stewards of this work. And some of the classes we do small group work as well. There's opportunities also in between classes with a partnership that you'll have to do hypothetical situations, practice calls, to practice being both the client and the coach, and to really get real world practice. We also have a class about reciprocity and decolonizing our practice to really honor the indigenous traditions where this work comes from. And 4% of everything that I make goes back to those cultures and back to the plants. So you're engaging in reciprocity by just being a part of this class. And then I'll hold you accountable for doing that as you pay it forward with your own work. We cover all kinds of topics in addition to topics that are near and dear to you. Anything that I can answer or at least explore with people, I'm honored to do so. And I would say what makes this course from Plant Medicine People different from the other courses that exist is, one, you're not likely to find somebody who's been doing this work longer than I have, simply because I was lucky enough to fall upon this at the time that I did. I've helped thousands of people in this work and learned so much, and am learning so much all the time about how to be a good integration specialist. And number two, I specifically call this plant medicine integration because my expertise is more in alignment with nature, what is organic versus the synthetics. That's not to say I can't help people with synthetics, but my emphasis is in the plant medicine space, which means I also emphasize the relationships that we build with these beings and treat them as conscious, sentient beings, because they are. So if you really resonate with a plant medicine path, if you're a friend to plants like mushrooms, well, fungi, and ayahuasca, and iboga, wachuma, etc., then this is the course for you. If you have questions, I'd be honored to answer anything in the comments, or you can reach me at kat@plantmedicinepeople.com. If you're called to this work, we need you. Millions of people are now working with plant medicines. There's not nearly enough truly educated and passionate plant medicine integration specialists. So please answer the calling, and I would love to see you in a future course. Thank you so much for listening, and be well out there.